In today's video, I'll show you how to create this trending smooth caption animation in After Effects using a responsive text animation technique. So stick till the end of the video and let's get started. Alright, create a new composition which is 1 second long and make this as 60 frames per second so that you have a smooth animation. And I'm going to change this to text_1. So make sure you rename this text_1. Okay, so hit OK, grab the text tool and type in your text. So make sure you select this center text on the paragraph, and I'm using this font. Okay, so I'm gonna align it to the center of the composition. Go to this text and select this animate, and I'm going to add a tracking. Hold down shift and page down once. Set a keyframe for the tracking amount. Go back to the first frame and I'm going to move it around -40. Go to animate again, set opacity. At 10 frames, it should be 100. Go back to the first frame, it's going to be 0. Select all the keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant and easy ease. Go to the graph and I'm going to change the graph to something like this. Alright, so select all the keyframes and I am going to copy this. Go to edit and copy, or Control C, and go to about 45 frames. I'm going to paste it and move it to the last. Right click, keyframe assistant, and we're going to reverse this. Time reverse keyframes. If you play back now, so what I'm gonna do next is I want to make this animation responsive. I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. So go to composition, selecting on the layer, go to composition, go to responsive design time, create intro, and we're gonna set this intro and select this range. So I'm gonna create another one which is outro. Go to responsive design time and create outro. So you have this. So I'm gonna adjust this blue selection, so this is the outro. Once you go back to the main comp, select this text one and drag and drop it here. If you want to make the animation faster, you can drag this in like this and the animation still remains the same, but it's faster now, so you don't have to play with keyframes every time you duplicate these pre-comp. Okay, so that's the main reason why I renamed this text 1. So if we're gonna duplicate this, Control D, it's gonna go to 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. All right, so if you listen to this, by the way, if you want to see these waveforms, you can hit LL on the keyboard, LL, to see the waveforms. And if you play it back, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, all right, so I said if I'm gonna duplicate this, and if back to the main comp, if you hold down Control on the keyboard and scrub the time indicator, if you can hear the audio, you hear. So I'm gonna duplicate this, which I already did, drag and drop it here closely, go inside this and change it to you. Go back to the main comp. So you'll have to repeat the same exact step for each and every captions. The next step is adding a new adjustment layer. Select all of the layers except for the footage, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to pre-compose this, and I can rename this to captions. Okay, hit OK. And if I go inside these captions, so I'm going to select this adjustment layer, go to effects and presets, and I'm going to type in directional blur, drag and drop this. And what I'm going to do is, if you zoom in, transition, so it's overlaid on top of, the layers are being stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to go and set the current time indicator to somewhere at the beginning of this, and select the adjustment layer and set the blur length keyframe here to 0, and go to roughly at the beginning, the middle of this blue selection. I'm gonna increase this to maybe around, I don't know, 30. And I'm going to set this direction to 90 so that you have a horizontal directional blur. So I'm going to go at the end of this and set this to 0. Okay, if you hit U on the keyboard, you can see the keyframes, and you see that. So I'm going to select these keyframes, Control C to copy, and I'm going to do this for all the layers. Okay, I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to go somewhere roughly here, and I paste it there, and you're going to do it for the rest of this. Okay. Alright, once you're done with that, I'm going to the effects and presets, and I'm going to search for simple choker, drag and drop. And if you play it back and scrub the time indicator to this point, you can increase this simple choker maybe around 1 or 0.5. You can see that it's blending very nicely like that. Alright, once you're happy with your simple choker, and from here I'm going to move it down, and I can adjust the size. Go to the effects and presets, and if you want to change the color, you can add the fill, and you can change it to, I don't know, yellow or something like that. Yellow, and I'm going to add a glow, stylized glow, and I'm going to change the threshold and radius. Go to the effects and presets and type in wave, distort, wave warp, select and drop it, and I'm gonna change this wave width to 150 and wave height to maybe 1 or 2. And if you play it back, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, go follow us on Instagram and join the Telegram channel to get updated with upcoming tutorials and be a part of the motion designers community. I hope you like this video and watch this next video for more After Effects tutorials.